I'm given a lot of freedom with my column at the Huffington Post. We have such a great politics team that tracks the events as they break, and we've got our great media team following how things are developing in the media. For me, I found it interesting to see a couple themes, right? First and foremost, one of my big themes during this election has been women in power, the perception of women in power in the media, obviously the Hillary Clinton campaign, what happened with Sarah Palin emerging. I think that the growing fascination with the candidates' wives and the role that they play. I think that's a very interesting, moving target, and I think that there's going to be a lot to sort of process and break down after it's all over, to sort of sift through and see, okay, how far did women come? Was Sarah Palin a step forward or a step back? What did she represent? What did she represent that was different than what Hillary Clinton represented, and which one is quote unquote better, or how are they different? So I think that's a big story for me personally. I found that to be very interesting, and that's something that I've followed. More generally, I think that there'll be some real questions about negative campaigning after this election, because it hasn't worked that well for the McCain campaign, and that may be due to the tanking of the economy and the fact that there's a real grave news story at stake. So that's something interesting, and I also think that someone's going to have to sit down and really evaluate how much does the country really care about the Iraq War, because the economy has been a really galvanizing issue in a way that the Iraq War just wasn't. The campaign has supplanted news about the Iraq War. For example, I remember this very well, in the week of, I think, March 18th, when Obama gave his race speech right after the Jeremiah Wright thing broke. On Sunday the 16th, Bear Stearns crashed, and on Monday they declared bankruptcy, and Tuesday was the 18th, and that's when he gave his speech. Wednesday was the 19th, March 19th, which was the 5th year anniversary of the Iraq War. And the way the news, the Project for Excellence in Journalism broke it down, and the way the news hole was filled, it was, significantly more attention placed on Obama's race speech than the anniversary of the Iraq War or the tanking of Bear Stearns. Like a very significant, by significant margin, the race speech won that Newsweek. So I think looking back, it's something significant to look at. I personally regard that week and the way the news focus went that week as being one of the most significant weeks of this campaign, because it was a week in which we had pure politics with the campaign and the race speech, and we had the economy, like the first big, huge warning sign of the economy tanking, and we had a really important date for the Iraq War. And the way attention fragmented out during that week is, I think, something that we're going to want to look at moving forward.